Gonna hop on YouTube today, guys. Why not? If you want to join, you can. Way sometimes. Yeah, if it goes from here, it's not going to be in for me. Nothing for me. Just a little damp on the tweet, Trump's tweet. Little shake and bake. For me though, if I'm going to re-enter, I want to have a confidence as to why I'm going to take that long. There's nothing on this long for me. Can argue H1 to M5. Yeah, so this upper quad would be the only thing I have an interest in today. It's the only thing I have an interest in today at the open. And nothing else. So yeah, you can argue H1 to M5. It's just in there. It's just in no man's land. If you are trading the H1 to M5, you would have gotten you know, if you got that, that would have been a fire entry if you did get that. But you'd have to have been super aggressive on it. So again, pay yourself inside at M15, premium hold runners, take out the higher. So that's where you'd have to pay yourself, right? Back inside the M15 premium, you'd just be holding runners to take out the high if you're in it. I'm not. So yeah, that would be your H1 to M5. Close back above. M5 Bissy. Inside an inefficiently delivered M5 range. There's your Bissy inside of a discount. Target the 15 minute discount, because this is a bearish DR. Runners for the high. So if you are in it, 80% should be off here. 20% left for the high. So if you're trading that model, you pay yourself inside of here. Back inside the 15-minute premium discount in this example, because it's bearish. This is where it can fail. Inside the 15-minute premium discount. So with it being Friday, I don't particularly want to chase price. And I already had my runner ran this morning during London, so I don't particularly want to go in again. So 15 to 1 model today, side London fair value, M5 discount, discretionary short. So this is my trade this morning. It's going to take out that high, M5 high, wherever that was. It was here. So paid myself in here. My runner got stopped. Oh, where was it? wherever it was. Got stopped on that candle. Yeah, so right in here. So enter, pay inside the 5-minute premium, target the 5-minute high, break on the 1-minute DR, 5 discount, 15 to 1 model, pay yourself inside the premium, hold runners, take out the high. So paid myself inside the premium, got my runner stopped, and it went and delivered. So scabby PA this morning. So now you've got 50 H1 to M5, sweep, close back above, 5-minute BISI, target your 15-minute premium, target TP the high. Where it can fail though is the 15-minute premium. So you want to have 80% off here if you are long. But for me, because I didn't have a limit on this, I'm not going to chase it. So I'm not in it. It's also inside of a premium now, which is where it can fail. So there's no entry for me here. So what I'd prefer to do is wait, see if we get one more stab lower. So if we come all the way back down to this BISI failed the upper quad. So essentially back down here, 120 is where I've got an interest. So in terms of X levels, like, you know, really in no man's land, but just floating around 12%. So if price is hella bullish, it will go out 12%, right? But after fulfilling our objective, taking out that week high on Wednesday, getting back up to 12% on the continuous. Just trading cautiously on a Friday, right? Don't want to give back gains this week on a Friday, scabby Friday. So what I prefer to see is it all the way back down at 21%. I've missed this entry. I've missed this model basically, so I'm not in it. It's not the 1, the 5, and the 15 are all the same. Crazy. So what you want to see, so you got to be mindful of the discretionary continuation on the H1. So essentially rejecting 1221, which is essentially going to be the premium side of this. If you're anticipating lower prices, right? 38. So if you haven't taken your lion's share off yet on the H1 to M5, my advice would be to do so. So one of these sides is going first, right? So you have an H1 to M5 on the low. The 5, the 15, the 1, and the 5 are all the same. So essentially what you're saying to yourself is, which side is this going to go out of? All right? Just purely using the principles of X levels. Like, all of this is 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute liquidity, all set up here, and you're inside of a H1 to M5 model. All right? If I had a gun to my head, it's more likely we're going to go and take out this high than it is for us to go revisit this long. All right? But it's too late in the day for you to trade this long out of here to come and take out this high. This is where, if you're in on the low on the H1 to M5, cool. You've paid yourself inside of here. Now you're just holding runners to take out the final TP. And just remember, if you are trading an H1 to M5, once it terminates this high, it can pull back. So if you want to hold beyond this, you've got to be able to weather a pullback. It's also an immediate rebalance on the daily. This low. Frank's in town. Yo, Frank. What's up, JB Trade? What's up, dude? Live your life. Yes, it was, mate. Immediate rebalance back into the daily order block, right? It was indeed. I just didn't get my. I just didn't get a fill on that. I'm not going to chase it. So this is one that's just going to swim on without me. Not on a Friday, anyway. Not for me, thank you. What's up, Madvahada's rock band? The hell is that? Is that Steve? Steve, you changed your name again. I was gonna say, yeah. So just remember, this is exactly where it can fail. Gun to my head, I'll be looking for the high, but I'm not in it. And I certainly don't want to short this. I don't want to short the M15 Prem, but I know we're inside of an H1 to M5. So there's nothing for me here. Hello, Japanese news. That's hanging on to 12% on the hourly. This low is 12% on the hourly. What is it? So this is the hourly DR on the right side of the widget. As you can see, we're just hanging on to 12 after sweeping the low on the hourly. So if you were trading a discretionary, taking it back up to 50%. Discretionary variation. There's absolutely nothing there for me as a secondary entry. Like nothing. There's nothing in here that I'd want to trade. To get in sync with it. So look at gold. Yeah, so gold's same level, up at 410 for me on gold. That's my interest. ES, same thing. Same thing on gold. Upper quad. Just I'm in another account. Okay, different YouTube account. Are you still in Asia? Or are you back now, Steve? Are you back in Brazil? Or are you still traveling? Back in Brazil, then back in Brazil for a month, then off to India again. I hope you're getting good air miles, good air miles, mate. Get some upgrade or a free flight. Get something for all this traveling you're doing. Star Alliance. Does that get you automatic upgrade? Just testing the low balance price range there. This is all just tape reading. Like if I was in this long, this is the kind of thing I'll be looking at. I've just got an American Express, and I get free like flight lounge. That's pretty much it. And then I can use my points from my Amex that spending on my Amex. I can use those towards flights. I think I've got like 40,000 points on it at the minute. It's probably enough for an upgrade. Bop, 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 bop. This is balanced price range, right? So it's held once. So it's tested a low. This is where you wouldn't want to see it back through it if you're managing your trade or flat BPR. I don't like this little flat bottom OB below it though. Really bitty PA today, right? How long we got to the open? 25 minutes. We've got news today as well, right? So look, is that the only event? 8:30 core PCE, yeah. Consumer sentiment at 10 as well. So for me, I'd like to see it back down towards 120 this area. That's why I have an interest for longs today. So if you are still in the H1 to M5, you just have 20% off, right? You know where it can fail. It can fail the 15-minute prim. Right in it. I can't short it though, because I have no confidence on those highs to hold. There's no context for why those highs would hold. Come on, one more sweep lower. What's up, E? Yeah, pretty much. So you just got the H1 to M5. That is literally it. If you're not in from this low, there's nothing you can do. You just got to sit still. All right. Where it can fail is the 15-minute premium, which is right here. Okay. So if you're long, you pay 80% off in here, 20% for the high. If you're trading at H1 to M5 long. Make sure you're paying yourself if you're in it inside the premium. So all your liquidity is sat here, 15.5 and 1, and down on this low, 15.5 and 1. The 5 to 15 and the 1 are all the same. So all you're asking yourself is which side is this more likely to go out of? Well, this low, because one of these is going. I promise you that. Promise you that much. So when they're all the same, the 5 to 15 and the 1, all you're asking yourself is which side is it going to go out? And you got a H1 to M5 on the low. So this high right here for me is hella sus. So this is where you take 80% off inside of a premium whole runners to take out the high. I don't have an entry for a short today. So if we do go and rip out this high as expected, there's no level that I really have for a short today. This is exactly where you need to be careful, right? For longs, right in here. Yesterday 1 p.m. 5 minutes. Yeah, it is. You got to ask yourself though, when price fulfills its objective acts. You know, if you were using that yesterday, sure, to frame off. If you were trading inside of this yesterday, yes, technically it is an if. So with an if, you don't mind it coming back to this SIBI, but you don't want to see it going through it. You don't want to see it going through that high. There's just no X level. There's nothing there for me. It's not something that I'd look to trade. In an ideal world, it fails this 15-minute high and we get one more stab lower, right? So if you've taken your 80% off already and you lose the 20%, who cares, right? We get one more stab lower. That's what I'd like to see. So this is where you want to be careful. Right at the high at 88. Right into the high of this MWOG. Deep, 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 deep discount. Just rebalance Trump's tweet. Cheers for that, Trump. As we're talking about, if you're managing the trade, there's your BPR, right? Higher prices. So for this low to hold, I wouldn't want to see it through mean threshold at BPR, which is 335. So your BPR, right? You don't mind it being tested, but once it's been tested, you don't want to see it through mean threshold, which is in here. For it to go run out this high, for this low to hold. It's hella chasey. Hella chasey. This is just trade management. Oh wow, like that's 333 up to 98. It's 70-point trade. Just trading that tiny little range. It's exactly what you wouldn't want to see if you were in that. Give us one more pass, come on. So I'm waiting for the upper quad. If you're still in from the H1 to M5, you don't mind. It's basically your 20% that you're playing with, right? 80% will be off inside the M15 Prem. You're just holding your 20%. So for me, I just want to see one more sweep. I want to see us take out this low. So it's entirely up to you whether you want to hold your runners or whether you want to let them go now you've broken that BPR. Bum, 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 bum. Don't forget you got news at 10. Revised consumer confidence. For me personally, there's no trade here. You're either in on that H1 to M5 or you're sat still. It's a no-go zone. You couldn't be in lower probabilities right here. In between the 262s on the 15 with a context for the high and the low. Oh. Take it easy, Jamal. Have a good one, bud. Boy. Sometimes at the open there just is no trade, and that's all right. So yeah, 21,120 would be my POI today for a long. If it takes out the H1 to M5. Runners. Try a little piece here, playing with profit from this morning, taking it back up to 46. So a little 40-point scalp. Right off 38. Trim some there at fair value. Oof, thank God for that. That was the easiest little 30-point scalp. Took my runner out. So the basis of that was just S&D profile for those inside RP. Yes, the ES hasn't gap filled, you know. Yeah, ES hasn't gap filled. So again, back in on the H1 to M5. Bum, 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 bum. So because the 15, the 5, and the 1 are the same, you've got to use your 15 second for breaks of structure. So this would essentially be going outside of a discount and looking for it to break structure on the 15. So going back up into a discount, this would be this way around. So paying yourself inside of here, holding runners. If you're retrading off this H1 to M5. There you go, make sure you pay yourself a trim one. So right there, make sure you pay yourself the flipping the 15 second out of the H1 to M5. Trigger on the low. Just pay yourself early. Still a nice little 30 points just up into that 15 second discount. So essentially looking for the 15 seconds to break. You want to pay, because essentially you're trading without confirmation. You have to pay yourself inside of here, right? So make sure you trim one here. Anybody capture this long? Let's fucking go. Beautiful trade. Absolutely beautiful trade. So you're just going to hold for ES to gap fill. Take out the 15-minute high. Would be my anticipation. You literally only have a runner from here though. Just holding for ES to gap fill. Stuff, Andy? So essentially it's a re-entry in here. Doing the same thing. Stops now below that trigger. So there's your 15-second break, right? So now you got to weather a pullback so it can come back into a discount. But there's your 15-second break. But you're literally just holding now for ES to gap. Jared Granson. Who the hell is Jared Ganson? You're a red pillar, Jared. It's a beautiful entry. Really well done, guys, if you caught that. Free guy. Fair enough. So in terms of X levels, right, coming all the way back down to 12%. So deep premium inside the H1 to M5. Then get our trigger. So it's flipping the 15-second over. Can't use the 1 minute because the 15, 5, and 1 are all the same. See, there's no breaks of structure in here. This is all the same. Right? There is no breaks of structure inside of that. That is the dealing range. So in order to find a break of structure, you have to go even below the 1 minute, which is the 15-second, right? So then it's a case of this is your DR, this is the premium, this is the discount. So if you're trading pre-break of structure, entering inside of a premium, flipping the DR over to then drive out the high. So now you've got your break of structure. Make it a sense. If you want a low-hanging fruit objective, take it to 88. That is a fucking beautiful trade, that. That's 100 points off the low. So just literally just hold until ES gaps. Just double check. NQ did gap, didn't it? It did gap. Yeah. Especially if ES goes through that gap. Hold on to your coattails. Right on the open, yeah. Yeah, so it's just the ES that's left open. The ES is yet to gap. So just hold your one contract until ES gaps. Who got the best entry? I got in at 21,258. Not the best. So I'm looking for this hourly to break now, right? So for those who know my continuation model, this then becomes the doll. So again, all supporting confidence. Also the H1 to M5 is the 15-minute high. So everything with also with ES, which is yet to gap. So everything is bullish. It's just a case of letting your runners run. There's no point choking it. Want this to break out the premium now. So this again, we're back up inside of a discount, right? So if it's bearish, we're back inside of a discount. I want this to drive through. So we've had the breaker structure on the 15-second. Now looking for a breaker structure on the 1, 5, 15. This is the next pool of liquidity. If your low is going to hold, this is your next pool of liquidity. This is not liquidity. This is liquidity. This is an inefficiency, which is what we rejected, right? So in between the DRs, you have inefficiencies, liquidity, and price. There's an inefficiency, is what we reject. But the liquidity is sat above that. There's your liquidity. So in between the 1 minute low and the high, it's just inefficiencies. Liquidity, liquidity. What you're asking yourself is, which side is it going out of first? Well, you got an H1 to M5 on the low, right? You've got ES, which is yet to gap fill. If I had a gun to my head, we're going to go for the highs, right? Yeah, on ES, yeah. No, 5917. $950 10-10 macro, right? So if you're in this trade, sensible place to pay yourself back inside the premium, right? So we paid ourselves inside of a premium on the 15-second, above the liquidity, inside of a premium hold run to take out the high. Scaling out. So for me, this can come all the way back. We're inside a deep discount again. It can come all the way back down into this, right? So again, back into this middle busy, if it wants to. Go on, ES. Take out that high, buddy. There she goes. It's going to pull NQ up. So as soon as this thing gap fills, I'm closing. That'll do for me. Really good stuff, guys. Congrats if you caught that. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade. There you are. There's my execution on that long. So 21,258. Paid myself inside the premium on the 15, and another in a premium. And then 377.50. It's a beautiful trade all the way up to ES on the gap fill. What made me get in that is for clarity, right? So X levels, new DR 12%, deep premium, immediate rebalance on the daily, but inside my H1 to M5 model, right? We then had our trigger on the low, and then going down to my 15-second, flipping it over. All right, looking for my breaker structure. All right, but then noticing that ES hadn't gap filled yet. So when one has gap filled and the other hasn't, it's like a green light that price is about to go and revisit it. It's basically a sixth sister. So great stuff, guys. Well done for those who caught the trades. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's the morning boxed. Congrats for those who caught it. A little bit of patience. Just a little bit of patience is all it needs. All right, guys, there you go. That's going to be it for me today. That's my one and done of any merit, right? So enjoy your weekends. Have good ones, whatever it is you're up to. And we'll do it all again next week. Believe it or not. Jesus Christ, do it all again next week. So take care, guys. Have good ones, and I'll catch you all on Monday. Take it easy. Have good ones. Bish bash bosh. I'm off to in a bit. So take it easy, guys.